Yes, last class we studied about charaka samhita in Ayurveda ithiasa. The main areas of expectation in Ayurveda ithiasa is important timelines and their author and commentator. So with this, we should know the salient feature of the particular samhita. So charaka samhita, sushruta samhita, vagbada samhita, and lagutrayi, madhav nidana, sharangadhara samhita, abhava prakasha nigantu. Apart from that, Yoga Ratnakara, Chakradatta, and Vaishyaratnavali. At least these books, these stalwarts information you must have, and detailed information you must have. Okay, so definitely we can expect 2 to 6 questions from Ayurveda Ityasa. So in some question paper, the questions are more also. It is not only they will ask from timeline, they may ask from the important features of the Samhita, some salient features of Samhita. Okay. Last class I have given one work, 17 chapters of Charaka Samhita present in Chikitsa Sthana. Only 4 students uh, sent the answer. It's good. So we'll go in further with Charaka Samhita, the importance of Charaka Samhita. So last class only we discussed the Mula Upadishta of Charaka Samhita is Atreya Punarvasu. Okay. He may date back to 1000 BC. So, and Tantrakarta is Agnivesha. Agnivesha is a Shishya of Punarvasu. He is a disciple of Punarvasu. He is also belongs to the same time period, around some 1000 BC. And Pratisamskrita is Acharya Charaka. So, just see the time gap between Acharya Agnivesha and Acharya Charaka, around 800 years. Okay. So, Acharya Charaka is 200 BC. Okay. Again, the Sampuraka of the Samhita is Drudabala. He belongs to 4th century AD. Again, the time gap between Charaka Samhita and Drudabala is 600 years. So during that 600 years, lot of chapters in Charaka Samhita was lost. Again, it is fulfilled by Acharya Drudabala. So out of that, the total 41 chapters is fulfilled by Acharya Drudabala. 17 chapters in Chikitsa Sthana and 12 chapters of Siddhisthana and 12 chapters of Kalpasthana. Okay. In total, 41 chapters of Charaka Samhita is fulfilled by Acharya Drudabala. Okay. We can come to Adhyayas and Sthanas of Charaka Samhita. So there are 120 Adhyayas. The same classification of Sthanas in Charaka Samhita is as seen in Kashyapa Samhita also. Okay. Total number of Sthanas are 8. Sutta Sthana contains 30 chapters, Nidana 8, Sharira Sthana 8, Vimana 8, Indriya Sthana 12, Chikitsa Sthana 30, Kalpa and Siddhi 12. Almost equal number we can expect. Sutra and Chikitsa 30, Nidana and Sharira, Vimana 8 respectively. Indriya, Kalpa and Siddhi 12 chapters respectively. Okay. It's very easy to remember the chapter numbers and as well as sthanas. It's same in Kashyapa Samhita, except he added one extra sthana, it is Kila Sthana. It is not in original Kashyapa Samhita. It is a newly added one. So Kila Sthana contains 66 chapters. In total chapters of Kashyapa Samhita becomes 180. Sorry, 60 chapters, total is 180. Then this part is very, very important. Alternate names of some sthanas of Charaka Samhita. Sutra Sthana is also known as Shloka Sthana. Okay. Sutra Sthana is known as Shloka Sthana. So last class only we discussed Sutra Sthana is Shloka Sthana. Tantrasya Shubha Shiraha. So Sutra Sthana they called as the Shira of the Tantra. Tantrasya Shiraha Shubha. That is Sutra Sthana. And then is Asthana. Vimana is Manasthana. Last class only I told Vimana is Vishishtamana. Here Acharya has given the qualitative and quantitative analysis of all the events and all parameters. He has given qualitative and quantitative analysis. Next is Indriya Sthana and Arishta Sthana. It's called as Arishta Sthana. Next Chikitsa Sthana is also called as Aushadha Sthana. Kalpa Sthana is Vikalpa Sthana. Again, the Vishishta of Charaka Samhita Sutra Sthana is Charaka Sutra Sthana. He divided Charaka Sutra into seven Chatushkas, four chapters in each Chatushka. There is Aushadha Chatushka, Roga Chatushka, Swastha, Yoga, Yojana Chatushka, Nirdesha, and Annapana Chatushka. Okay, last two chapters are Sangrahadraya, Sangrahadraya. So you should remember the names of each Chatushka. So it's very important. They may ask one question, for example, Atre Bhadrakapi Adhyaya is belongs to which Chatushka of Charakas? Okay, they may ask Vata Kalakali Adhyaya is belongs to which Chatushka of Charaka Sutrasthana? Nirdesha Chatushka. Okay, they may ask question like that. They may ask the chapter name and they will ask the Chatushka or else which among the following chapter is not belongs to Nirdesha Chatushka. Like that also they may ask. They may give three chapters name and one chapter's name will be missing. So that you have to find it out. So question may come like anything, but you have to know regarding Chatushkas. All 28 chapters name you have to memorize. So when come to the personal biography of Charaka Samhita, so who is Charaka, who is the father, where he is belongs to. Okay, he is the son of Vishuddha. So the father name of Charaka is Vishuddha. He is a court physician in Kanishka dynasty. That is the information we got it. So he is the son of Vishuddha. He is a court physician in Kanishka dynasty. Okay, again Charaka is also working with the Kanishka dynasty after his father Vishuddha. So Vishuddha is a disciple of Maharshi Vaishampayana. So he is a Raja Vaidya of Kanishka dynasty. So all Charaka and Charaka father, they are belong to Kanishka dynasty. They are the court physicians. Court physicians means Raja Vaidyas. Okay, and where he was born is born in Kapisthala Grama. The name where Charaka was lived is Kapisthala Grama, as Kapisthala village, which is situated in between Iravati and Chandrabagi river in Panchanada area. So these three terms you should remember. The name is Chandrabagi river. The whole area is Panchanadapura. The whole area is Panchanadapura. There Charaka was lived. Charaka is a son of Vishuddha. He lived in a Kapisthala Grama, where the Kapisthala Grama is situated is in between the river Iravati and Chandrabagi. The whole area is called as Panchanadapura. This is the personal information of Acharya Charaka or biodata of Acharya Charaka. They may ask the question where Charaka was lived. So he's lived in a Kapisthala Grama, so near Chandrabagi river of Panchanadapura. Okay, this much information you must have. I will share these notes also. Later on, Charaka becomes the court physician in Kanishka dynasty. So, according to Acharya Bhava Prakasha or Bhava Mishra Samhita, so Acharya Charaka is avatar of Sheshanaga. Okay, so he is an avatar of Sheshanaga, or else he is a Nagavamshi. Hmm? That information is also available from Bhava Prakasha Nigaddu, Bhava Prakasha Samhita. Then important after Charaka we have a Drudabala. Drudabala is a Sampuraka of Charaka Samhita. Drudabala is a son of Kapila Bala. He contributed 41 chapters to Charaka Samhita. Then comes important commentaries we already discussed in the last class. These notes I will share you. So when come to the literature of Charaka Samhita, so the whole Charaka Samhita was written on four sutras. One is Guru Sutra. Guru Sutra means it is told by Punarvasu Atraya. Shishya Sutra means it is written by Agnivesh. Okay. Prajasamskarta Sutra means it is written by Charaka. The shlokas of Charaka Samhita is based on these sutras. So one is The shloka is told by Punarvasatraya, or else the shloka is told by Agrimesha, or the shloka is told by Acharya Charaka, that is Pilson's Karta, or AKS, or it may be a conversation between one other persons. There are a lot of conversation in Charaka Samhita. There is Sambhasha Parashat in Charaka Samhita. Or else it is a single line statements given in the Samhita. Like there are four sutras, there are four types of shlokas present in Charaka Samhita. Got it? There are 14 country names as been told in Charaka Samhita, and there are 68 acharyas. 64 ಆಗಿದೆ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ 68 ಇದೆ. Okay, you keep around 60 acharyas present in Charaka Samhita. Just had a number 60 plus acharyas are present in Charaka Samhita. So different acharyas names are also mentioned in Charaka Samhita. There are 1950 drug preparations or combinations explained in Charaka Samhita. So in total, Charaka Samhita contains 12,000 shlokas. It is said by Charaka only in the last chapter of Siddhisthana. But actually, if you count the total number of shlokas in Charaka Samhita, it comes around 9,295 shlokas, 9 sutras. But according to Charaka, there are 12,000 shlokas present in Charaka Samhita. That you should remember. It is an evident, and Charaka has given the same thing. There are 12,000 shlokas present in Charaka Samhita. So it is evident one. It is written in the Charaka Samhita only in Charaka Siddhisthana last chapter. But if you count the number of shlokas, it is around 9,295. But nobody will ask regarding 9,295. But you should remember, Charaka Samhita contains 120 chapters and 12,000 shlokas and 8 sthanas. And every acharya must have some inspirations, must have some references, okay, from other samhitas. Like that in Charaka Samhita, Charaka is influenced by Sankhya Darshana. So he has taken some of the concept of Sankhya Darshana in Charaka Samhita also. And his influences from Bauddha Darshana also. He has taken some of the versions of Bauddha Darshana. And also from Vaisheshika Darshana, practical aspect of Charaka Samhita is taken from Nyaya and Vaisheshika. So it is very clear the Charaka is influenced from these Darshanikas, Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, and Bauddha Darshanas. He incorporated some of the good shlokas or good concept from these darshanas into its Samhita. And in all of the Charaka Samhita, we have a reference of three types of Atrayas. So one is Punarvasu Atraya, the name is mentioned in Charaka Sutra 13th chapter. Krishna Atraya, the name is mentioned in Charaka Sutra 11th chapter. Bhikshu Atraya, it's mentioned in Charaka Sutra 25th chapter. So just remember, so all these Atrayas name the same Atraya, will be different. But the Adhyopadishta of Charaka Samhita is Punarvasu Atraya. Bhikshu Atraya may be the different, Krishna Atraya may be the different, but the author of Charaka Samhita is Punarvasu Atraya. So it is very clearly mentioned in Charaka Sutra 13th chapter. Got it? So very important thing in Charaka Samhita is we have a Sambhasha Parishad. We have a lot of discussions happening in Charaka Samhita regarding the conceptual understanding and to come to some conclusions regarding some concepts. So for that they called a symposium. They called different acharyas from different areas or different countries. They sit together and they discuss the concepts and they will conclude the concept with their own wordings. So this is explained in Sambhasha Parishad. These Sambhasha Parishads are very important. So around 7 Sambhasha Parishads are mentioned in Charaka Samhita. All Sambhasha Parishad in detail, we will get definite questions in AAPG. One or two questions from AAPG. So first Sambhasha Parishad is Jirgara Jivita Madhya, first chapter. Where it is happened, where in which place this Sambhasha Parishad is happened. It is in the place of Himalayas. So Imavat Parvata, Imavat Parshva, it's happened in Himalayas. Okay. So this subject is Rogotpatti. So total number of acharyas present during that time is 52. Okay. So next Sambhasha Parishad in Vata Kala Kaliyadhyaya. It's Tridosha Vivechana Vardhan. Total acharyas present is 8. So next Sambhasha Parishad Yajna Purishayadhyaya. Okay, it is happened in Kashi. So this is regarding Purusha Vikara Utpatti. So total number of acharyas present is 9. Next, again in Atreya Bhadrakapi Adhyaya. So it's Rasa Vikalpa. Total number of Rasa Sankhya they discussed in that. Total number of Acharya present is 10 in number. Okay. Next is in Sharirasthana, Garbhavakranta. So Garbhotpatti Vichara, which is the first Ganga to develop in the Garbha like that. So next in Sharira Vichaya Sharira. So Sharira Vichaya Sharira Adhyaya. Garbhasya Pratamanga Utpatti, yes. So next is Siddhisthana, best drug for Nirubhavasti. So like that, the discussions was going on in Charaka Samhita. This is Sambhasha Parishad. All Sambhasha Parishad in detail is an MCQ and it is an important frequently asking question part. This is a triple star rating area, Sambhasha Parishad. You must memorize without fail. No exemption in memorizing Sambhasha Parishad. Sambhasha Parishad is a very important FAQ. All of you should go through it. Okay. Some important reference of Charaka Samhita. We have a reference of Yavagos. Okay. So 18 Yavagos was mentioned. 32 Churna Pradehas are mentioned. And most important is we have 50 Kashayas mentioned in Charaka Sutrasthana. This is very, very important. And explanation of Swastaruta, Rutucharya, Rutu Satmya, it's called as Oka Satmya, is explained in Charaka Samhita. Sadruta is explained in Charaka Samhita. Okay. We'll go in detail about salient features of Charaka Samhita now. So, what do you understand by the word Charaka? So, you know the word meaning of Charaka. You can open up your mouth and message the word meaning of Charaka. So, one shloka is there in Yoga. Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacha. Ever remember the shloka? Yoga Slokam. Don't know the shloka. Many students, you are all reciting shloka in before starting yoga. Okay? Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacha. So, why they come here. Okay? So, in this shloka, they are mentioning about the Munis. Yoga will do the Chittanashana. So it will control chitta roots. That is yoga. The main concept of yoga is the controlling of the mana. Yogena chittasya. And then padena vaya. So it is called as vakarana. So pada will do the shuddhi of vacha, what we tell or what we will discuss. So padena vacha. That is the work of Pani. The logo is Patanjali and finally Malam Shriyasya. So the whole Mala should be cleansed in the body and it is a work of a physician. So those who are doing all this, Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacha Malam Sharirasya Tu Vaidike. So all these three stalwarts, we will salute them. So in the shloka, they are mentioned. So Patanjali, Panini, and Charaka all are same. There is no difference between a Patanjali or Panini and Charaka. All are from the same fraternity and all are same. So in that regard, Charaka has written Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Panini Vyakarana, and also Charaka. So this is the one concept. So that Charaka is the one who has written all three samhitas with this sloka, but it is not exactly true. History is always a fiction. So somebody will say it is the somebody will say it's not the other. But still we have a reference. So Patanjali, Panini, and Charaka say all form of Charaka, maybe. Okay. And one very statement Charaka was given. यदि अस्ति तदन्यत्र यन्ने अस्ति न तत् क्वचित्. Okay, it's a very, very bold statement present in Charaka Samhita. Yada asti tadanyatre yanna asti na tat क्वचित्. What is the meaning of this shloka? Can anybody tell? Whatever is there is elsewhere, whatever is not there is nowhere. So very clearly the shloka meaning was given. Yadi asti tadanyatra yanne asti na tat क्वचित्. Okay, and the meaning is whatever is here is elsewhere, whatever is not here is nowhere. So it's very, very bold statement as given by Acharya Charaka. Whatever present in Charaka Samhita, it is present all over the world. Whatever the Chikitsa principles, Chikitsa sutras, whatever the word medicine present in Charaka Samhita, everything is present in Charaka Samhita. Whatever not present in Charaka Samhita, it is not at all existed anywhere in the world. It's a very, very bold statement given by Acharya Charaka. So it means to say that everything is present in Charaka Samhita regarding medical science. Okay, so everything is present in Charaka Samhita. If it is not present in Charaka Samhita, definitely it is not at all present. It is not at all exist anywhere in the world. It is a very, very, very bold statement given by Acharya Charaka. So we have to believe Acharya Charaka in these Chikitsa Siddhantas and Chikitsa principles. There will be no failure if you follow the versions of Charaka Samhita. So if you understand the Charaka Samhita on its way in very deep manner, so definitely there will be no failure in your clinical practices. The principle, the Chikitsa Siddhanta is so clear. There will be no ambiguity, there will be no controversies. So if you understand the proper line of treatment given by Acharya, it's very important given by Acharya Charaka. It's very clear. Okay. And apart from this statement is present only in Charaka Samhita, that you should remember. And one more thing, Acharya Charaka's salient feature is Svabhavo Paramovada. So what do you mean by Svabhavo Paramovada? So Svabhavo Paramovada is a Prakriti Chikitsa. You know the branch, we have 5 branches in Ayush. Okay, first is Ayurveda, second is homeopathy, third is Unani, fourth is naturopathy. Okay, so the naturopathy means a Prakriti Chikitsa. So what do you mean by Prakriti Chikitsa? How the Prakriti will heal the body is called as it is present in Charaka Sutra Sthana 16th chapter. The Acharya has mentioned. So every disease has its own sanchaya, as its own prakopa, and as its own sanchaya prakopa prashamana. It's not prasaraha. So Trivida Kriyakala is explained in Charaka Samhita. Who is author of Shed Kriyakala? Who explained about Shed Kriyakala?
Sushruta.
Sushruta, yes. Trivida Kriyakala is explained in Charaka Samhita and Vagbata Samhita. So these people, Charaka and Vagbata, the Atraya Sampradaya. So these people follows Swabhava Paramovada. Swabhava Paramovada means everything has its own sanchaya, has its own prakopa. After when it reaches prakopa, it will have its prashamana. Okay. So for example, so when kapha sanchaya will happen, Shashira. Kapha prakopa will happen in Vasanta Rutu. In Grishma Rutu, kapha prashamana will happen. So this is a nature. Okay. So every disease will have its own cure if you leave it to the nature. Then there is no requirement of a medical intervention in any disease. Okay, if fever comes, it will go its peak and it will come down automatically. Got it? So what we have to do is we have to give a sufficient patya to the patient, and we have to wait until it will get settled down. Okay, so this is a Swabhava Paramavada. It means to say that the 90% of the diseases doesn't require any medical intervention. This is not a my words or Charaka words, it is a word of WHO. World Health Organization has given very clear statement. So the 100 patients step into the medical institutions. Okay, it may be clinics or hospitals or medical college, a big setups. The 90% of the patient doesn't need any medicines, only need a consolation. Okay, so it's not a consultation, we need to console them. So we need to advise some good patya and we need to educate the patient, and then we should send back the patient to its home. Okay, that is a requirement, that is the need, and it is called as Svabhava Paramo Vada. So every disease will have its own aggravation and it will settle down on its own. Sanchaya, Prakopa, and Prashamana will happen automatically. So doctor's job is nothing in 90% of the diseases. So WHO again is further continuing. Remaining 10% of the diseases require some medical intervention. So out of that, again 8% of the patient requires medicines. So again, only 1% of the patient require hospitalization. Remaining 1% of the patient need and surgeries. Got it? Now in what happening in medical institutions is, so 90 out of 100 patients we will write prescription for everyone, or 100 patients we will write prescription. Out of that, 40% will be getting admitted to the hospitals. Out of 40% hospitalization, 10 to 20% will be to the ICUs. Out of that, we will advise surgery for 10% of the patients. So this is happening today. Okay, 40% admissions, 20% intensive care, 10% surgeries. But actually, what required is only 10% medicine is needed. Among that, 1% hospitalization is required, and remaining 1% surgery is required. Okay, so what we are doing is mistakes. It's a medical robbery. Okay, so everybody we are prescribing medicines, whether it is the required or not required. We are advising the admissions, whether they required or not required, because we have our setups. We have built hospital, we are investing crores together so that patient should get admitted. Otherwise, we won't get revenue. We can't get money to run the show. So with this, so many admissions are going on, many mistreatments are going on, many operations was done without any proper indications. Okay, this is happening everywhere, not only in India, everywhere, all over the world. Comparatively, we have extensive doctors in India, extensive doctors. So we have 10 times more than the required doctors in India. 10 times more than the required doctors in India. There is increase from last 10 years. When we are when we were doing BMS, it's a shortage of doctor was there, but now it is completely exponential increase in medical professionals. So that leads to a huge competition. So that leads to unethical practices of surgeries, unethical admissions, unethical ICU admissions. Okay, so unethical medical prescriptions, everything is going on because of overflooding of doctors. So over targets. Okay, corporate companies are involved in medical professions and they spoiled entire medical field. Okay, so this is a scenario going on everywhere. But when come to Charaka Samhita, it is the Swabhava Paramo Vada. So every disease will have its own sanchaya. It will as its own prakopa. When it's go to prakopa, again it will settle down automatically. This is the concept of Swabhava Paramovada or Prakriti Chikitsa. Okay, and one more concept of Charaka Samhita we need to appreciate is Shana Bangura Vada. So this concept is accepted by Charaka from Buddha Darshana, Bodha Darshana. Shana Bangura Vada means every second, every microsecond, there will be a lot of physical chemical changes happening in the body. So this is the influence from Bodha Darshana. So you need to remember Shadabhangaravada is a concept explained in Charaka Samhita. It's regarding the body physical chemical changes, and doshas always it's in increase or decrease in nature. So it's not a stagnant. Samadosha we cannot expect in a human body. Samadosha, Samadnisha, Samadhata Malakriya, not at all happening. So because dosha will variation according to the time period of a day, according to Rutu in a year, how can we expect samadosha in the body? So it is a false statement given by Acharya Sushruta. We cannot expect samadosha. We can expect up to 99% of samadoshatva. We cannot expect 100% of samadosha in any body, anywhere. Okay, if you achieve samadosha, it's not a human being. Okay. That is a minute, minor variations will happen in every second, everywhere. That is Kshanabangura Vada. And one concept is there in Charaka Samhita is Shodala Kala. What do you mean by Shodala Kala? Any idea regarding Shodala Kala? What is mean by
So
Kala?
16 guna of Chikitsa Chatushpada.
Yes, 16 Guna of Chikitsa Chatushpada is called as Shodala Kala, 4 into 4 each. Yadavadu Chikitsa Chatushpada, Vaidya, Paricharaka, Aushada, and
Rogi.
Rogi. Yes. The 4 into 4. Each Paricharaka has 4 gunas. Each Anga of Chikita has 4 gunas. 4 into 4 become 16. So Acharya call it as a Shodala Kala. 16 gunas. In Telugu, Kala means streams, but in Sanskrit, Kala means guna. Okay. So 16 gunas of Chikitsa Chatushpada is called as Shodala Kala. 16 gunas. This is the concept coined by Acharya Charaka. So you heard about the word Sadruta. Okay. You heard about the word Sadruta in Charaka, sorry, in Ashtanga Sangraha and Ashtanga Rudaya. The conduct, good conduct in the society is called as Sadruta. The same thing Acharya used the word Achara Rasayana. Okay, so instead of Sadruta, Achara Charaka use the word Achara Rasayana. So what do you mean by Achara Rasayana? Nothing but Sadruta only. But Acharya Charaka told very clearly. So if you want to advise a Rasayana or Rasayana Chikitsa, so we must follow Sadruta. We must follow Achara Rasayana. So how we will give Rasayana? So there is a rule for Rasayana. First we have to advise them, show that biopurification should happen. One should undergo all types of panchakarmas. Then only we should advise Rasayana. Rasayana is a short-term medicine. We should give some medicine for a particular period that will brings a lot of changes in the body. So just from the Vaya till they will get everything. So Kanti, everything they will achieve with the Rasayanas. Okay. So if you need a Rasayana, the patient needs a Rasayana, he must follow Acharya Rasayana. So it means to say Acharya Charaka is very clearly explained that so Rasayana Chikitsa is not for everybody. So one who follows Sadruta, so the person should not say lies. So he should work and everything should be in a very proper way. One should follow all Rutacharya and Dinacharya. Okay. So he will do his job very clearly. He should be very religious and we should be obedient to the society. In those persons only we should advise Rasayana. Rasayana, nowadays we are advising Rasayana to everybody. So without any indications or contraindications or else eligibility, we are advising Rasayana for everyone. But the concept in Charaka Samhita is Achara Rasayana. Achara Rasayana means Sadruta. So we should advise Rasayana only for the persons who follows Achara Rasayana or Sadruta. The concept is very clear. So if his mind is clear, then the medicine will work to the body very well. Got it? ಸೊ ಅವನ್ ತಲೆನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು ಅವನ್ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ದ್ರೋಹ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಕಳ್ತನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Okay, many a times in the clinics, patients will come, they will have many doubts regarding the doctor, whether they are giving good medicines or bad medicines. So whether they are using some mercury preparations, they are asking what is the medicine ingredients. There are a lot of doubts on doctor and ethical problem with the doctor. So these persons we need to select whether we have to treat the patient or not to treat. So like that, I have rejected many patients also. If you have many doubts on doctors, then what is the question of giving the medicines to them? So this is a big thing everybody should learn in the clinical practices. We need to select a patient. The patient has a right to select a doctor. Also, we should have a right to select the patient also. Okay, whether we need to give the medicines or not. So in Charaka Siddhisthana, Acharya has given very clearly whom we have to treat and whom we should not treat. Okay, this eligibility criteria is also there in Charaka Samhita. So the concept is very unique and very important. Achara Rasayana concept. This is the specialties in Charaka Samhita. And Dashivida Pariksha, Trivida Pariksha and Dashivida Pariksha. Trivida Pariksha is present almost all Samhitas, but Dashivida Pariksha is a unique concept in Charaka Samhita. Okay, so Dashivida Pariksha is first mentioned by Acharya Charaka in Charaka Vimanasthana. Again, Vimanasthana is a special concept of Charaka Samhita. You won't get Vimanasthana in Sushru Samhita. You won't get Vimanasthana in Ashtanga Sangra or Ashtanga Hridaya. Okay, in Yogaratnagara, Vaishnavi, nowhere you will get Vimanasthana. This is an extensively special concept of Acharya Charaka. Okay, so Vimanasthana. In Vimanasthana, what Acharya Charaka is mentioned, he has mentioned a lot of qualitative and quantitative analysis, including the vayas of a human being. The Parama Ayush of a human being mentioned in Charaka Samhita is how many years? What is the Parama Ayu of Charaka Samhita for a human being? Any guesses? 90 years, 80 years, 100 years, 120 years? In which chapter it is mentioned? Parama Ayu, and the total number of years or lifespan of a human being mentioned in Charaka Samhita. It's 100 years. It is mentioned in Janapada Dvamsa Adhyaya. Where it is mentioned in Charaka Samhita? Janapada Dvamsa Adhyaya. Okay. So Acharya has influenced this from Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So he has taken some versions and modified versions of Bhagavad Gita also in Janapada Dvamsa Adhyaya. This is mentioned. So the human being is just like that of a Ratha. Okay. So if you maintain a Ratha in a very proper way, if you ride that Ratha in a very good road, so then the Ayush may increase. So we have fixed it as an 100 years. If you maintain it properly, it may increase up to 120, 140 also. But if you are not at all maintaining, if you are not at all riding in a very good conditions, the tires may burst early, the tires may lose its intensity early, and that age may reduce. And he has given one condition to that. So for every 100 years, 1 year will be reduced. Okay. So Parama Ayu of a human being is 100 years. For every 100 year, 1 year Ayu will be reduced. So then you can calculate a Charaka belongs to 200 BC. So exactly 2200 years from now. Okay. So 2200 divided by 100 is 22. So now the parama ayu of a human being in India, according to Acharya Charaka, is 78 years. Okay, 100 minus 22, because the time period of Charaka Samhita is 200 BC. Now we are lived in 21st century. Okay, so 100 minus 22, it is 78. So you can check out the total lifespan of human beings in India according to WHO. Every country has its own lifespan. Japan, it's 85, and average is 90. In China, it is vary. In America, it is varies. Okay, because of human advancements and science advancements, the lifespan is again increased. Okay, so but still, on and average lifespan is 78. You just check out with your Google. Okay, so what Charaka told is correct. That's why he told us, look, whatever there in Charaka Samhita is present everywhere, whatever not there in Charaka Samhita, it's not nowhere. It is not present anywhere. So the versions of Charaka is very true. It is Shashvata, Anadi. So everything is good only. No controversy in Charaka versions. Okay. So Charaka Samhita Paramayu is 100 years. So like that in Chandogya Upanishad also they mentioned the Paramayu, that is 116 years. In Sushruta Samhita also they mentioned the Paramayu of human being. It is 101 year. Okay. So Chandogya Upanishad 116, Sushruta Samhita 101 years. And total number of bones in Charaka Samhita. How many bones? Acharya Charaka explained. 360. 360. The different bone classification will go in different, according to modern, it is around 246. Kashyapa Samhita is also 360. Tushta Samhita is 300. Okay, Bera Samhita 360, Yagnavalkala 360. Total number of bones in Charaka Samhita is 360. And we have 38 Tantra Yuktis is mentioned in Charaka Samhita. 50 Mahakashayas was discussed in Charaka Samhita based on karma. Okay. So these classification will not get in Sushruta and in Vakbada Samhita. The karmanusara vargikarana of dravyas. So dravyas are vargikarana based on karma. Okay, this is present in Charaka Sutra, second chapter, the 15 Mahakashayas. Okay, Mutra Virechaniya, Mudra Virechaniya. So like that, Kashayas, each Kashaya got 10 drugs. He has assembled, he has made 50 Mahakashayas. It is mentioned in Charaka Sutra, second chapter. This classification is very first in Charaka Samhita, that to be based on Karmukata. And Shadzatvatmaka Purusha is called as Chikitsa Purusha. It is first mentioned in Charaka Samhita. There are four pramanas accepted by Charaka Samhita: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Aptopashya, and Yukti. Especially Yukti Pramana is only mentioned in Charaka Samhita. So Yukti you won't get it anywhere. So Yukti is specially mentioned in Charaka Samhita. And Rasa Utpatti is from Antariksha Jala. It's also mentioned in Charaka. The six rasas are got origin from Antariksha Jala. And the three Yeshanas. Three Yeshana is there in Charaka Sutra Samhita. Three Yeshana is the concept of Charaka. Aturalaya Varnana. There is explained about the clinic and clinical setup, how the clinical setup will be. So it is also mentioned in Charaka Samhita. And Agada Tantra name, Agada is mentioned as Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamani. Okay. So usually Agada Chikitsa or Gara Chikitsa like that is mentioned in other Samhitas. But in Charaka Samhita, the Agada Tantra, the branch is mentioned as Vishagara Vairodhika Prashamani. There are 63 Rasayana Yogas and 50 Vajikarana Yogas mentioned in Charaka Samhita. You note down 63 Rasayana Yoga and 50 Vajikarana Yogas mentioned in Charaka Samhita. And in Jwara Chikitsa of Charaka Samhita, we have one treatment principle. It is an Adravya Chikitsa. So, what is the Adravya Chikitsa mentioned by Acharya Charaka in Jwara Chikitsa? Without medicine, so Acharya Charaka treated Jwara with Vishnu Sahasranama Patana. Okay. So, Viprakushta Karana for Jwara is Rudra Kopa. So Viprakushta Karana for Jwara is Rudra Kopa. So the Kopa from Rudra is the reason for Jwara. Here Acharya Charaka told to recite Vishnu Sahasranama. What is the relation between Vishnu Sahasranama and Jwara mentioned here? So in Puranas we have one reference. So Hari Munidare Hara Hara Munidare Hari. If the Shapa is given by Hari, Vishnu, so it should be taken out by Shiva. If Shapa is given by Shiva, then it will be taken out by Vishnu. Okay. So ಶಿವ ಶಾಪ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ವಿಷ್ಣುನ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೇಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತೆ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಶಾಪ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಶಿವನ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೇಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಸೊ ಶಾಪ ಕೊಟ್ಟವರು ಶಾಪ ವಿಮೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ so in this manner so that Vishnu Sahasranama is advised to recite during Jwara. Okay. So Jwara is because of Rudra Kopa, it's because of Shiva. So that we should recite Vishnu Sahasranama to nullify the effect of Jwara. Okay, it is very clearly mentioned in Charaka Samhita. So Vishnu Sahasranama should be recited for better cure of Jwara. Okay, you should not recite Vishnu Namal in all Jwaras. First give medications and then you should recite Vishnu Sahasranam. Okay. Right. These are all some of the salient features of Charaka Samhita. So first Grantha or the Ayurveda Bhagavad Gita is Charaka Samhita. Okay. So it's Dhanvantara Sampradaya. The medical school of thought, the owner of medical school of thought is Acharya Charaka. It's a very important book for clinical practice and also for APGT. We can expect around uh, uh, 50 questions from Charaka Samhita. 50 questions into 4 becomes 200 marks. Solely we can expect from Charaka Samhita. Okay, minimum 50 questions, around some 200 marks alone will come from Charaka Samhita. So this is a brief history of Charaka Samhita along with its some important concepts, some important studies of remaining Samhitas we will discuss in next class. And also I will share one more notes of Samhita today. Okay.